Can you hear me? Last night, somebody said to me rather drunkenly, he said, "I love you. You were just a nobody, but you said no." And I thought, well, that's charming. I did actually have a career before this, but he was right. And he was also one of the organisers of the conference. But anyway, so I'm going to speak in defence of the Equality Act, obviously, because if people don't know, I was a claimant. It's not as easy as Anna makes out. And I'm going to say basically three things in defence of the Equality Act. First off, the workplace isn't a free speech domain. It never was, and it isn't. Secondly, Chesterton's fence. And thirdly, it's not just about the cases that come to tribunal. So those are my 3 points. The workplace is not a free speech domain. That's how you know you're at work. You can't swear. You can't call your boss an asshole. You can't, in general, be an asshole to your colleagues. If you work in a customer-facing role or a client-facing role, there are very clear rules and regulations about what you must say and what you must not say. So I think the problem is not the workplace speech police, because police implies rules. It's the workplace speech militia. It's the self-appointed people saying you can't say this and you can't say that outside of the rules, not the workplace rules. You need to have rules and codes about how people act at work, because otherwise they're not at work. And none of this is a breach of your human rights. And so what we've had is the workplace militia saying, you can't say this, you can't say that at work and outside of work, including things that are needed just to be able to do your job, as in to say that men are male and women are female. In my case, I lost my job basically for articulating what is the definition of sex in the Equality Act. And I think the Equality Act is hugely important. It's built on hundreds of years of anti-discrimination law. The first piece of anti-discrimination law was religion and belief. It was the Papists Act, something, long time ago. And they've gradually built up discrimination law against disability discrimination, race discrimination, sex discrimination, and that all got rolled up into the Equality Act. If you didn't have that, your workplace wouldn't be a lovely, free utopia. It would be a place where your bosses can bully, harass, and discriminate against you. That's the Chesterton's fence point. Chesterton's fence is, you buy a piece of land, there's a fence on it. Don't take that fence down until you know what that fence was for. What the Equality Act fence is for is to stop people being bullied and harassed at work because of their race, because of their sex, and so on. And I know this because after I lost my first employment tribunal, when they said that gender critical beliefs in 2019 are not worthy of respect in a democratic society, basically what they were saying was, you are not covered by the Equality Act. Your beliefs are not covered against discrimination. It is open season for people to discriminate and harass women and men who say that sex is real in the workplace. And that was overturned in 2021. And what we see with belief discrimination cases is they have a remarkable rate of success. It's very rare that you get direct discrimination cases won, because employers now don't say no blacks, no Irish. They know not to do that. But they do still say no gender critical bigots. They're learning. They can't do that. But they also can't indirectly discriminate against you by saying, we're going to allow men into the women's toilets, and so on. All of that is the Equality Act. And so my third point is, it's not just about the cases that come to court. The most important thing I ever did in my life was to lose my job and to bring my case. And what that means is people say my name, because I didn't change my name when I got married, and I'm quite proud about that, because Forstater is a strange name. And people just say my name at work and it stops a grievance. So you have, there's the top of the iceberg is the people who go through 4 years as I did and win. But there's lots of people who are able to say, look, the Equality Act protects my rights to free speech, but within the workplace, free speech is a limited thing. You know, your employer can say no talking on the production line. That doesn't impede your human rights. And so I would just say there are no nobodies. Everybody's a somebody. Everyone can say no, and that's partly because of the Equality Act.
Thank you.